Okay, so I want to break into this and help give you guys some more insight and foresight so that you can feel more comfortable with going after deals that have the more equity in them versus going after skimp deals. Because although it seems like I can get in and out of this quicker, my margin for error is much less. And if the market quickly shifts and you don't have enough equity based on your buying position, you'll quickly lose money. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to discuss today the difference between, or the benefit, I should say, of buying distressed property versus not so distressed property. Okay, I think it's a big misnomer in our real estate industry today. I think a lot of people believe that I want to get in and out of a rehab quick, which should always be the goal. But the problem is we always have to look at what is our spread or what is our perceived equity. Because in real estate, we got this saying that we make our money when we buy. The sale only consummates how good of a job did we do evaluating the property on the front end. Okay, so I want to break into this and help give you guys some more insight and foresight so that you can feel more comfortable with going after deals that have the more equity in them versus going after skimp deals. Because although it seems like I can get in and out of this quicker, my margin for error is much less. And if the market quickly shifts and you don't have enough equity based on your buying position, you'll quickly lose money. Okay, I remember it was a time when I went out and one of the first properties I bought, some many years ago, and we had the ARV wrong. Okay, and in result of that, we went through and we purchased this property. We did a beautiful renovation on it, and at the very end of it, the comps, which are comparable properties similar to the subject property that you're pursuing, okay, which helps you to determine your after repair value, which is synonymous with your projected sales price. So the comps in this particular area on one side of the road were $155,000. On the other side of the road where my property was located, they were only like between $125 and $135. And so we ended up, taking 4 months. We went through a beautiful renovation on this property only to sell it and lose $26,000, right? And so I wanna help y'all to understand, right, and just further illustrate and drive home the point that we have to get really good at evaluating deals on the front end. Otherwise, we're gonna manifest the work that we did on the front end on the back end, and it's nothing worse than an extended loss. Okay, so how do we avoid that? Well, we avoid that by, number one, getting educated. We got to go out and get educated on the rehab process, the rehab costs, so that and get really proficient at underwriting deals. And when I say underwriting deals, I mean learning how to take your perceived sales price, your ARV, right, and then subtracting from that all of your cost of capital, your closing costs, all of those things. Taking out your rehab number. Well, in order to know your rehab number, you need to know the cost and the components of all the elements of the rehab. And then lastly, taking out what your expected profit is, and that should tell you pretty much what your offer price is. So we call that in our program reverse engineering. Okay, we do every deal like that. That's our underwriting process. And so through that, you'll start to identify how much spread that you have in the deal. Okay, how much spread, how much equity is in the deal. And so we have a rule of thumb that you always want to look for the worst house on the best block, not the best house on the best block. So many investors, I have a buddy who he likes these quick lipstick flips. And it's nothing wrong with that because he looks at it like I could come in and spend $120,000 cash and the property's worth $150. I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna be in here, I'm gonna put he would have bought it for like 110, put like 10, 15 in it. So he's in it for like 120, 125. He sells it for 150 after fees. He nets $15,000 roughly on that property, right? Not a bad strategy. You get in and out, you buy something, you put it back on the market the next month. John is doing good, conceivably. However, right, there's not a lot of margin for error in that approach. So if we're in a declining market, and like we're in a recession right now, right? And if the ARV somehow shifted and now that property is worth 140, well, guess what? All his profits are gone. By the time he comes in and out of that, all his profits are gone. So what we like to do, the reason why we identify the worst house on the best block is because we want the best block because we want a place that's desirable for homeowners to come in and buy, right? That's extremely important. Always thinking with the end in mind, who's going to be your buyer? Is the demand there? You know, am I below median price? Do I have the largest demographic of buyers in my said marketplace? All of these things are things that you need to focus and key in on because they're extremely important. Now, after making sure that we're fitted in the right neighborhood, right? And let's just use John as the example. So we're in the same $150,000 neighborhood. Our approach is slightly different though. We're gonna go in and buy the house for $50,000, okay? Our acquisition price is gonna be $50,000. We're gonna then go and put, say, $40,000 into it, okay? So now our total cost in real estate means purchase price plus rehab. Our total cost is below $100,000. We're at $90,000 all in. Now all of a sudden we go flip this house for $150,000. Okay, we're going to net roughly, 40, 45 grand on this deal. So John went out and he made a quick 15 based on his strategy. May have taken us, 30, 45, 60 days longer. But now we made 45, and not only that, we've insulated ourselves to where if said market went down from 150 to 140, as it did for John, now we're covered in the sense that we can still make 30 grand on that deal, as opposed to be on the fringe of losing money. So it's so important that we don't default into strategies based on our lack of knowledge. That's the fastest way to lose money. And for most of you, I know that you're really interested in building long-term wealth, generational wealth, and something that you can replicate long term. And so for those reasons, I encourage everybody, go out and learn how to get proficient at underwriting deals. Learn how to get proficient at analyzing comps. Learn how to go out and get proficient at looking at rehab bids and rehab numbers and learning how to hold contractors accountable to what you know to be true in terms of the rehab, and go out and build the business that you really desire with great margins, right? So that you can do great deals and you're not relegated to doing what you deem to be easier just because of your lack of knowledge. Flip that on its head and go out and put yourself in position and do better quality deals with better margins so you can have a better business long term. If you like this, if you thought this was helpful, all I ask, like, follow, share, and also hit the notification bell so that you're notified as I bring you more content like this.